So today I thought we would focus on, as we move into postures, trying to feel overall body awareness and overall body connectivity, um, and notice in your own body, where you might leave out or where you might feel a bit of discomfort or challenge. And we'll just try to move through and just notice these things and see what helps and do little variations to see if that distracts us from overall body awareness or that brings us more into full body awareness. Um, and sometimes I think even shoulder stand is called overall body awareness pose or something, or overall something like that, which I think is really kind of interesting that it's going upside down when we do that. So let's see what happens. Let's begin.
So it's always nice to come down and lie on our back and just with the feet bent and just see if you can feel how your feet are in the floor, how they connect to the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs. So here we have a bit of bend because we want to make it safe and easier on the lower back. And then just notice how you are in your pelvis, your rib cage, your shoulder girdle, up into your shoulders, down your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. And then just notice your neck and your head and face. And see, some places will have your natural curves, and so you won't be completely on the floor. But just notice if you can feel an overall body awareness. So perhaps one way to imagine this is you check in with that heel-tail connection. You check in with your shoulders to your fingertips, your thigh sockets to your feet. Of course, your back and front, but see if you can just feel those extremities. And then we'll start waking up the body a little bit with some abdominal work. So we'll keep the hands next to the hips right now to start off simply. So can you feel your torso, your legs, your arms, your head? Or do you find yourself focusing more on one part of the body? And see if you can bring the breath into this. And feel into the toes, the head, the abdominals, the arms. And then as you change your hands to behind your head, if you're okay with that, see how that changes your overall body awareness. And you feel the width of those elbows wide, opening the armpits, length in the head and the tail, the abdominals, and the feet into the legs. And then bring the feet down and bring your arms out shoulder height. So you can, move them up a little bit, move them down a little bit, and then find where that easefulness is through the width here. You're really trying to find that width. Can you feel that width through your fingertips? And then bend the knees into the chest. And then slowly start to bring the knees, feet towards that opposite hand. So can you feel your overall body here? Can you feel your head ground as you're doing a bit of a twist? Can you slowly straighten the legs? See what happens then. You can always back off a little bit if you're losing some awareness and maybe the breath becomes a little bit ragged. And then bring the knees back to the center. Take a breath here, and then start to bring the knees over to the left hand. Just notice if you can still feel the connection into the floor with your shoulders, your head. And it'll be your opposite hip that's really more in the ground or in the mat now. And then see if you can straighten the legs. And again, you can always back off a little bit if it's too intense and you can't feel that grounding through the shoulders out the fingertip. And then inhale, bring the knees in and the feet down. And have a couple of breaths here. And then roll to your side and come up to placing the hands under your shoulders and that length between your knees and your shins. And then see if you can feel where your hands are, where your feet are, how your head and tail is here. Do you perhaps feel more in your hands or more in your tops of your feet? And of course, if you have some comfort issues, you can always roll something, like I'll just show you because I happen to have the blanket here. But if you happen to have really tight ankles, you can always bring something like this to place under your heels to give you a little bit more to press into. So that can help. So as we come to all fours, can you feel that overall shape in your body? So it is pretty much a table, and some teachers will call this tabletop, I think. Or maybe it's the other way that you move, that you become a tabletop. Anyway, there's all kinds of common language going on in yoga these days. It's hard for me to keep up. And then we'll just do a little bit of cat tilt and dog tilt. And see if you can keep that overall awareness through the arms and legs and the torso as you go through this pose. To ease the spine a bit, trying to create a little bit more space in the spine. And one of the images is like a string of pearls. So see if you can feel that spaciousness, as if each part of the spine was a pearl with a knot in between, so that there's a bit of space and also movement. And then bring the big toes together and see if you can find those big toes together, because we don't often think about it. We just sort of automatically try to bring them together, but do they really feel like they're together? And then maybe walk the hands a little bit forward to give yourself a bit more length, and then slowly bring those sit bones back to the heels And can you feel the length? Can you feel the pressing of the shins and the tops of the feet? Can you feel the arms energizing the hands here? So there's an overall, there is tension in the pose. You know, we can't have just complete relaxation or our bodies are quite soft. So, but we have gotten to a point where a lot of people have physical over-tension, I guess is the word, because we need tension to be upright. So anyway, tension's not a bad word is I guess what I'm trying to say. So now come and tuck your toes, and you might want to walk the hands a little forward and go into downward facing dog. And since it's our first downward dog of the day, you can do a little bit of flexing the legs or walking the pose, as they often say. But notice as you add movement to this, can you still feel that overall body from head to tail, from feet to hands, and the whole side body? Or are you focused on the tightness, say, in your legs or your back or your shoulders? Just notice that. There's no right or wrong. It's all about the noticing. And then see if you can just come into a couple of breaths of downward dog. Before we go back down to big toes together, knees wide. And if you found it helpful to bring the hands a little bit forward and just ease the sit bones back, I feel like this gives me length and some real good stretch in my side body and my armpits and my shoulders. And then inhale, coming up, and tuck the toes and go into another downward facing dog. See if you can find that. Lift up the legs, sit bones up to the ceiling, and how it allows you lengthen the spine down to the head. And the arms are active. So there's the hands pressing to press the shoulders up towards the hips. And then slowly walk your fingers, hands towards your feet. And just bring your fingertips on the floor. And you can still have bent knees because maybe it's too early in the day to really straighten the legs in Uttanasana. But just notice if you can feel the overall shape of your body here. Can you feel where the head and tail are now, where the feet are, where the legs are, where the hands and shoulders are? And then if you want a different way to come up, see if you can bring your elbows, hands to elbows, engage the legs, and use the elbows to bring you up to standing. Now we can do that again, just for some awareness. So hanging back in Uttanasana, you hold onto your elbow. Then you start to really engage the legs and the feet. And inhale, come up. And then release the arms. So does that give you some new information, some new overall body awareness? And then we'll just come and stand into Tadasana. And really see if you can feel, especially the pinky finger and the thumb. See if you can feel them lengthening down towards the floor. Do you need to do little subtle adjustments here to feel that your legs are engaged or your abdominals are engaged, or that you have a connection from those heel bones to the sit bones and from the shoulder girdle to the fingertips, and length between the tail and the head. And then just slowly begin to bring the arms shoulder height. Now, depending on your shoulders, just go to where it suits your body today. You may need to have them a little bit forward, or perhaps you can really bring them up parallel to the ears. Can you still feel that thumb and finger length? Can you feel your overall body here? And then exhale the arms down. And then we'll go into we'll go into Urdhva Sthasana and then Utkatasana. So we'll go into arms overhead and then we'll go into powerful pose. So again, slowly bring those arms up wherever it suits you today. And then really engage those abdominals and slowly bend into Utkatasana. Can you still feel your overall body here? Or do you get focused on the legs, or maybe you start to sweat if you're in a place where it's warmer, or you're working out by the heater. And then inhale up and exhale down. And this definitely does get the heart rate going and perhaps the blood flowing. So perhaps you start to feel more tingling through the body. Who knows? We all feel things a little bit differently or have different kinds of experiences. And then inhale again, those arms overhead. Can you feel that length, that overall body from the feet to the fingertips? And then going into Utkatasana, powerful pose. Really feeling those legs, those abdominals. And then inhale, arms up. And then you can just float the arms down next to you. Now, since we went through that little sequence, just notice your overall body now. Is there a change? Is it the same? Just notice that. And then if you feel like bringing your hands in front to jump, you can do that. We'll go into some more standing poses, or you can just step wide. So if you bring your hands forward, you're going to go into Utkatasana and jump wide. So that's, it's hard to say when we're moving like that we can feel the overall body, but the idea is that confidence to go wide and land. And then I'll do mirror image, take that left toe to heel, right foot heel to toe, and then really reach with that hand towards the leg. Can you feel the overall body awareness here? And then coming into whatever your full triangle is today, Utthita Trikonasana. And don't be afraid to put your arms down if there's fatigue. please take care of your body in all of these poses. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet wide. Can you feel that overall? We're not a star, because star would be more like the arms up here, but can you feel that overall width of the body as we do this? And then if your arms are tired, you can bring them down, or you can keep them up and come to the other side. Right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe, and then reach, reach, reach. Maybe stay here a few breaths, and then if you want to come further into the pose, you can bring one hand to the shin or the thigh, one hand up. If you need to, you can always keep the arms down. So that's always an option, especially since I'm not viewing you right now. You can take to the pose the way that feels correct to you. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring those feet wide. Again, feel that width in the body. And then you can either step or jump back in to Tadasana. And again, just notice what you notice. You might have a higher heart rate. I definitely feel like I'm working my arms a bit. Maybe you feel it in your thighs. But can you, even if you feel a sensation like that, can you still maintain that feeling of your overall body awareness? And then bring the hands in front of the chest. And then if you want to jump, you can, or you can step wide. Now this time, we're going to start to pivot around. So now you want to bring those hips as best as you can. You might need to turn that back foot in more forward. And just see where you are now in this feeling. It might feel different because your arms are wide, but your legs are different. And then see if you can slowly bring that hand to the shin for just a little twist. We don't have to go very deep. You can start with the hand on the thigh. You can keep this hand on your sacrum. Or you can go deeper and the arm can come up. And then inhale, bring those arms up. Bring the feet wide. And always, if you feel like you need a break, you can bring the arms down. And then bend at the knees and go around to the other side. See if you can feel how now the legs are different, but the arms are wide. How does your body adjust to that? How does your body awareness adjust to this? And then slowly bring the hand down wherever it can come. It can stay on that thigh. The other hand can come on your sacrum. Or you can bring the hand further down and go into a twist. And then inhale, slowly come around. And really feel that width in the body here. And then you can jump back into Tadasana. And again, just bring in some overall awareness here. Notice your breath. See if you can feel the length of the head and the tail. The pinky and the thumb. From the shoulder girdles to your fingertips, your feet into your pelvis, into your hamstrings. And then again, if you want to jump, you bring the hands in front of you, jump wide, And then left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. And this time as you bend that front leg, you're going to bring the top arm up and over. Parsvakonasana. Now, you can always keep that hand down. See if you can still feel that overall body awareness. Where's your head and tail? Where's your arms, shoulders, feet, pelvis? And then inhale, slowly come up. Hands can be wide, or you can bring them down if you need a little break. And then take the right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And then as you bend the front leg, you can bring the forearm on the thigh. And you can just stay here if that feels like where your pose is today. Or you can bring the arm up and over. Depends on your shoulder, what's going on in your arm, or in your whole body, really. And then inhale, slowly come up. Arms wide, the legs are wide, and then you can step or jump back into Tadasana and have a couple of breaths there, feeling that overall body awareness. And then bring the hands in front of you, jumping wide if you're going to jump. And then what we're going to do is we're going to twist all the way around, but you can lift up the back heel. So this will make this pose a little more doable. And then bend down like you're going into Warrior One with the arms wide. And then if you can take the opposite elbow to the opposite thigh, then you can just stay there. If you want to bring the hands into prayer, you can go there. And then slowly unwind back to legs wide. So now you know what's coming on the other side. You can always bring the arms down if you need that recovery. And then turning to the other side, lifting that back heel up just to give you a little bit more leverage. Bending into the front of the leg. And then you can bring that elbow down. And you can just stay here if that's where it is today. You can even place the forearm on the thigh and just slowly begin to twist the abdominals. And then if you want to bring your hands into prayer position, you can. And then slowly come up, back to legs wide, and jumping back into, or stepping back into Tadasana. And just feel your overall body. And of course, your heart rate's probably gone up. Maybe you're noticing your breath more. But can you maintain some overall body awareness? And then just bring your hands into tree pose. There's something about this movement that just comes right into the body so that maybe it helps you feel that line in the body. And then see if you can stand on one foot and slowly bring the other one up to tree. It won't be the high tree, but just want to feel your overall body here. We'll just stay here today into this awareness. And then release that foot down and release the hands down. See if you can feel that overall body awareness. And then as you bring those hands into prayer, can you feel how you have that line in the body, that center line of the body, and then slowly bring the other foot up into tree. It can be quite low if you can't get it up your thigh. You can keep it down at your ankle and just stay here. Can you feel that length? And then you can slowly bring that foot down and bring the hands down and the arms down. And can you still feel that length in the body? And again, let's inhale those arms overhead. Just notice what you notice. And let's go into Utkatasana, powerful pose. Bring the hands up, arms down. We'll do that again. Inhale the arms up. And then Utkatasana, powerful pose. Inhale up. And exhale down. And just notice what you notice. And then we'll come down to the mat and lay down with our heels close to the sit bones. And we're just gonna play a little bit with going into bridge, but we will, kind of go in a bit slowly. I want you just to press those heels, lift the pelvis just a little bit off the floor. So what starts to happen? Can you stay in that comfortably? Can you feel the back side of the body supporting the front side of the body? And totally release down. And often, we don't even notice that our feet are going a little bit AWOL. So when we lay down here, sometimes it's a good idea just to check out those feet. Because often our perception is actually not exactly what's, going on in the body. And at the same time, looking in mirrors all the time can also disturb your inner sensation. So it's this balance of internal and external experience. So I don't know if it's really a balance, but it's trying to bring both of those things into awareness. So then we'll press those feet up again. Maybe you can press up a little bit higher. And then slowly roll down the spine. And then we're going to try to press up a little bit higher. Inhale, slowly come up. See if you can bring the hands together underneath. That gives you a little bit more press in the shoulders. See if you can really feel that front body length. And then slowly roll back down. Couple of breaths here. And then we'll do that one more time. Again, you might need to check your feet. You might need to bring your heels a little bit closer. And then see if you can start to really press up. Some people can hold their feet. I'm not very good at this. I'd rather, bring my hands together. But whatever works for you. This is when it's fun to use a belt too, because often we can use the belt to give us a little more traction. See if you can feel your feet, your shoulders, your head, lengthen the front body, back body supporting it, heels to the sit bones, and then slowly roll down. And then bring your feet into a little bit of a happy baby. You can roll side to side if you need to do that. Give your back a little massage. And then go into whichever Shavasana you need today. Feet up the wall, feet on the chair. Regular Shavasana, feet on a bolster, whatever it is you need today. And then just begin to become aware of your body. Can you feel how the skin really supports everything in your body? It gives you a bit of a boundary with the world. How we touch the world. And perhaps you can feel the whole, perhaps as if you were just tracing your body or making a snow angel. See if you can feel those edges around your whole body, that whole shape of your body. And if you've been watching the Olympics, perhaps you want to imagine your body being able to do some of those amazing, controlled or beautiful movements. Perhaps it's like skating on the ice, that glide. Can you feel that smooth gliding in your body? And then with every exhale, can you feel your head and tailbone as if it's like the spine is like the string of pearls, that there's space between each vertebrae. And then can you feel the space between each bone in your feet and each bone in your hand? Perhaps each bone in your wrist, your ankle, your elbows, your knees, your shoulder girdle, your thigh socket, and hips.
See if you can soften your jaw and the space between your ears. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin to reawaken your body, perhaps stretch in your fingers, your toes. Maybe an overall body stretch. And then perhaps throughout the day, you can just check in. How am I feeling overall in my body? Can I feel my overall body awareness? Namaste, and have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are.
Thank you for watching and joining us.